We have previously done a video on the timeline and the life story of Kong in the Monsterverse. Now we will do the same with Titanus Gojira. Not the members of his species, but just him, solely, as he is the main character of this universe. We have taken out the retcon Shinamura and the timeline associated with it, and then added other things to be up to date with the current setting. So let's get to it. Prehistory. Godzilla and Mothra defeat Ghidorah for the first time in Antarctica, as was seen in the cave paintings. Godzilla and his kind were worshipped and then had an underground city built for them with monuments and murals. The city would subside underwater for reasons unknown and was seen in the King of the Monsters movie. Before 10,000 BC, the last ice age was triggered due to the Titan War in the Hollow Earth that Godzilla was a part of, and also Shimu is now suspected to be the cause of the ice age, and also the one behind the freezing of Ghidorah in the Antarctic ice. Before 10,000 BC, Godzilla was defeated by a rival Kong that took his lair from him, as was seen in the flashbacks in the comics of Godzilla Dominion. This Kong isn't the same one we know in the present day. Between 10,000 BC and 1945, due to the Cataclysm and the Ice Age, Godzilla and the other Titans undergo periods of hibernation, and he wakes up from time to time to check on them. 1945, Godzilla gets awakened by the atomic bombings in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Although this timeline along with Shinamura has been retconned, the awakening part from slumber still holds strong due to the fact that Godzilla is always connected to those fateful events. 1954, Godzilla was lured to the Bikini Atolls by the US military, and the Castle Bravo nuclear test was conducted as a disguise with the main aim of killing the Titan. The most powerful nuclear explosion conducted by the US served only as an appetizer to the G-Man. 1955, Godzilla resurfaces again in the Japanese islands of Hataruma, which were also called Monster Island. He was lured back up to the surface world by an experimental gamma-ray device developed by Dr. Suzuki. 1959, two possible Godzilla sightings occur. One is on March 15 when an unknown underwater creature is captured on sonar, and the other is at another point in the year when a large creature is photographed in the ocean thanks to a satellite. 1973, Monarch under Houston Brooks would brief James Conrad on the existence of other Titans on the planet and Godzilla being inferred to be active and about. 2014, Godzilla senses the emergence of the Mutos and would pursue them around the world. He would confront the male Muto in Hawaii first, and then this pursuit would end in the Battle of San Francisco, where he would kill both the male and female Mutos. Late 2014, Godzilla battles the Muto Prime, a predatory species that hunts and lays eggs on the bodies of dead Gojiras. Godzilla defeats it in Montana, but not before getting his ass kicked and dorsal plates shattered, which would eventually grow back. 2015, Godzilla was discovered to be resting and recuperating in the middle of the desert in Algeria, where he emerged from under a mountain of dirt in his KOTM Doegoji form. He would subsequently disappear again in the desert, probably entering a hollow earth vortex point. 2017, Godzilla enters the Axis Mundi drawn by the Gamma Ray device, and in that dark realm, he would battle and kill the Iron Dragon, which puts up a short but vicious fight. Between 2017 and 2019, Godzilla was stated to be swimming around the world, and especially to Antarctica to check on Ghidorah, who is still stuck in ice, and also to Skull Island to check on Kong about him being still in his territory. Between 2017 and 2019, a reptilian titan the size of a large whale was found dead in the Arctic, as Mark Yeager died in this sea and was mentioned that it had scorch marks on her scales. This makes Godzilla the culprit. 2019, the events of King of the Monsters and the Awakening of the Titans. They take place in this year, where Godzilla also fights Ghidorah 3 times. Firstly in Antarctica, where Ghidorah flees the fight, and then in the middle of the sea outside of Mexico, and finally in Boston, where, with the help of Mothra, he transforms into his burning form and annihilates the three-headed dragon. Also in 2019, while searching for a place to rest in the ocean, Titanus Nakika was poisoned and captured in an electrified net. Godzilla saves Nakika from her captivity and kills the perpetrators. Between 2019 and 2021, Godzilla keeps a check on the activity of the surface world Titans, stopping Scylla from attacking ships, stopping Amhuluk from invading the Amazon and killing Behemoth, and then battling the Janitor Swarm, finally resting after defeating Tiamat and retaking his old lair that he lost to the rival Kong way back in the past, This Kong lost that layer to Tiamat, which in turn lost it to Godzilla again, so the cycle continues. Between 2023 to 2024, Godzilla starts to become more aggressive and attacks Apex facilities all around the world, culminating in the attack at Pensacola. It is later found that the Apex facilities were experimenting with Ghidorah's skulls and organs, thereby releasing a bioacoustic signature of Ghidorah that triggered Godzilla. 2024, Godzilla battles with Kong in the Tasman Sea, sparing the big ape when the ships turn off their engines as a sign of submission. He would then fight Kong again in Hong Kong and then battle Mechagodzilla after that, nearly getting killed if not for the timely intervention of Kong. So these are the GVK events. Between 2024 and 2025, after Godzilla and Kong makes their peace, Godzilla rules supreme over the surface world, while Kong is sent back to the Hollow Earth to claim it as his home to search for remaining members of his species. Between 2025 and 2028, in the events of GXK the Hunted, for some unknown reason, Godzilla senses something wrong and attacks an oil rig in the middle of the ocean, probably trying to prevent another human-titan encounter, or senses the presence of a sinister threat. Again, between 2025 and 2028, Godzilla battles an arachnid titan in Rome and rests in the middle of the Colosseum. It is unknown yet if this battle immediately precedes the rest of the events of GXK, or it might be something that happens quite a few years before. 2028, Godzilla will evolve into his pink form with the crystalline dorsal plates and a tail thagomizer. He would also come out of the ice chrysalis with a leaner body and longer arms. This form will be called the Evolved Godzilla. Also in 2028, Godzilla would have to team up with Kong and other titans to deal with the threat of Scar-King, Shimu, and an army of Hollow Earth Kongs, thereby triggering the events of GXK the New Empire. So that's all we have about Godzilla in brief as of the current setting. Now if you like this video, then watch this other one as well, and do check out our channel for other Monsterverse contents. We might just have things you haven't seen before. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, fam.